So I want to talk about a new and different and deeper way to start to establish clear boundaries and to establish your I am and your you are with people that you love. So I talked a little bit about how in I am you are, people can come in for you or you can go in for them and start to try to take your energy and your happiness from other people. So frequently what we need to do is a series of steps called unplugging and then establishing boundaries. And so we're going to first talk about unplugging. So unplugging is an energetic shift to break those ties with somebody. I really, really love this. Invisibilia, a podcast on NPR, has a podcast called Quantum Entanglement. And it talks all about how easy for us it is for us to get quantum entangled with other people. So quantum entanglement is essentially what they talk about in that podcast is if you had two atoms, they've actually shown this in physics tests, that you can have two atoms, they get quantum entangled, and then what happens is they start to revolve the exact same rate in the same directions. And there's no stimulus that's causing them to react one way or the other. They literally are moving the same way all the time. And they've shown that you can get quantum entangled with anyone, like literally walking down the street and making eye contact with someone, you can actually get quantum entangled. And so what we're doing with our boundaries is actually starting to break that quantum entanglement because we want you to be in choice. I want you to be able to actually operate in your life free and independent of what other people are doing. So go listen to that podcast and then also start to do some of this work of unplugging and boundary shields. And so when we're unplugging, we're literally going to unplug you from other people. We're going to navigate with inner hearing, unplug you, listen for how many people are plugged into you, and then listen for how many people you're plugged into. We're going to literally remove plugs from your body, release those plugs so that you can come back into a clear, healthy space of your I am. Which leads me to the next piece of this, which is boundary shields. So when you're working in your boundary shields, we're now in a clear space. You've unplugged people so that you are clear in your I am. And when we're working in boundary shields, you have essentially what I think of as Saturn, which is you, and then the middle is you, and your I am is nice and clear. And then there's rings, 1 to 72. And 72 is a beautiful number for a lot of different reasons. It's also the number that Dorothy Wood Espio, my teacher's teacher, and many of my teacher's teachers, has established 1 to 72 is the number of boundary shields, and that people in your life are all on the 1 to 72. The only one in the 0 in the center is you. So what we'll now do is look and see if people are too close to you on your boundary shields or if they're too far. How are we going to do this? We're going to use inner hearing and navigate from inner hearing. Listen for the number of how many people are too close. Listen for the number of how many people are too far. And then just like a little chessboard, you get to move them around. You don't have to tell them. You don't have to explain any of this. It is completely up to you to choose where people are on your boundary shields. Some people, you might find exes in there, people you really don't want on your boundary shields, family members, whoever. Sometimes you need to actually get them off your boundary shields. And in my mind, I've had people where I take them out to 72 and then I flick them off into the universe. And then they're just off of my energy boundary shields. So that's that practice. We'll be working on this and practicing it. But I want you to understand this principle of how important it is and how much say you have in your boundaries to start to create a nice, clear space that is legitimately and 100% you.